silver tongue is cutting off my silver tongue. He covers me in soft white clay. I kiss his skin with razor blades. I paint his face with cadmium. He feeds my blood with lithium. God made our world just yesterday. Our silver tongue inscribes his face. The deep Red Sea is falling back. He sews my wound to feed his lack. On crosses painted red and gold, his skin is stretched and futures told. My Jesus of the rotting meat, I cut your throat and look your feet. Our freedom's like the slaughter pig. He screams for love, we murder it. The spoon of honey on my tongue, I drank it from where his body hung, shining white and red and silver long. The man with the silver tongue, my Jesus of the silver meat, I cut your tongue and live your heat. Singing la 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 la, singing la 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 la, singing.
Dat was de sessieopname The Man with the Silver Tongue. Michael Gira bezong de overleden Weense kunstenaar Rudolf Schwarzkopler, een actionist die om het leven kwam in 1969. De meest recente cd van Michael Gira is er een samen met zijn band, The Angels of Light. En die cd heeft een dubbele titel, Everything is Good Here, Please Come Home. Hij werd uitgebracht door Gira zelf op zijn uitgeverij Young God Records. Nu dan, voor de sessie, speelt hij die liedjes solo. En soms vraag je je af, waarom toch die aandrang om die songs op te nemen met een band in de studio? Want dat betekent toch een dure studio, een hoop gedoe, organisatie, sociale problemen ook. Maar Michael Gira, hij begon met zijn band Swans begin jaren 80 al, is in dat opzicht nog van de oude stempel. Hij houdt van de studio en hij werkt ook thuis niet met een computer of een programma als Pro Tools om zijn muziek op te nemen.
Well, I don't do what I guess a lot of other artists do, which would be to use Pro Tools and things like that.
You don't?
No, I just set up a mic on my desk and play and sing into the microphone. That's it. I like very simple presentations of the music, but also, of course, I like going into a studio and letting my imagination run wild as it drains my bank account simultaneously. I made a record in a room with a friend of mine using Pro Tools and that kind of thing. It was good, but I much prefer also being in a studio where there's a big room and you know, a actual mixing desk and compressors and sounds. And I like that. You know, maybe that's old school, but The record I made on Pro Tools was with Dan Matz from Windsor for the Derby. So that's called What We Did. And it was strange because after that, that was the next record of my own music that I made, was this new album. And I was a bit scared of going into the studio and not being able to see the music on the screen, which is a really kind of strange thing to think about. That you, as a musician, that suddenly you become addicted to having to see the visual waveforms.
Right.
So, but it was a good thing to go back into a real analog studio again, I think.
Michael Gira is productief, zowel als muzikant als uitgever. Hij maakte een cd dus ook met Dan Matz, die muzikant is in de band Windsor for the Derby. Die cd heet simpelweg What We Did. Gira maakt ook een cd onder zijn eigen naam, solo, opgenomen. En met zijn band dus, The Angels of Light, wat nu de 4e is die onder die naam is verschenen. Mocht er nu het idee zijn dat Angels of Light echt een gezamenlijk bandproject is, dat is het niet.
I'm a dictator, so I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, I let people, or want people to give input, but as far as the final decisions and how the thing is shaped in the end, that's me. That's the only way I can work. So it doesn't really present a problem.
Michael Gira dus, en niemand anders, beslist in de studio over de definitieve vorm en versie van de songs. Hij neemt zijn muziek meestal op, al jarenlang met Martin Busy, maar zal ook zelf beslissen over het geluid. Als leidraad voor het werk in de studio, voor het opnemen van muziek, valt Gira vaak terug op de ideeën over toeval van vooral Brian Eno, Brits muzikant. Daarbuiten zijn er grote producers als de heel overdadige Phil Spector en de heel sobere Joe Boyd, waarvan Michael Gira in elk geval het werk bewondert.
Phil Spector would be one, of course. Joe Boyd, different producers like that. But Brian Eno, particularly. Not that I would want to sound like any of them, but the ambitious quality of the work interests me. The thing I think about is some statements Eno's made about chance and things. And that helps me a lot in the studio. Giving up a kind of, because I'm very obsessive. So kind of giving up control for a minute to find a new way out, or if a mistake happens, follow the mistake instead of the original idea. And that helps me come up with arrangements which I wouldn't have thought of otherwise. I must have read it in the 80s or something, in interviews or something, his approach. And he had those cards he made, you remember? Do you know about those? They were cards. He had a book of cards made up. And my friend Bill Rieflin had them at one point. And you would draw it, and it would say, go take a walk, or try number 5, or just random ideas that you might try to employ as a way to find a new avenue.
Cry no more. He's coming here. His voice contains nations. Don't cry no more. Cry no more. I fought. All there is a nation. The children hide behind his eyes. Their skin conceals nations. His mouth is dry from drinking sand, but he seeks the blood of nations. Our Father waits electricity, and he fixed the minds of nations. These storms, they cry against the wall, and they sound the screams of nations. For those that burn, for those that are left, for those that conspire to steal the past, for those whose bellies are filled with air, for those who wither, that eat despair, for those that we kill, for those that rise, for those who now fall through tunnels of light, for those whose veins are filled with salt, for those who follow the muted call, for those whose work is fire and is waste, for those whose tongues describe the taste, for those that spread the sand and the lime, for those that rise up, for those that'll die. He brings revenge, and he brings the truth. He brings revenge, and he brings the truth. You're not alone, not alone. 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 You're not alone, not alone.
En dat was de sessieopname Nations. En die song begon voor Michael Gira, trots inwoner van New York, met de ramp op de 11 september. Er zijn inmiddels een aantal cd's verschenen die expliciet verbonden zijn met die 11 september, met Bruce Springsteen als meest bekende voorbeeld. Michael Gira wordt liever niet in die rij geschaard. Gebeurtenissen, namen en feiten zijn aanleidingen voor liedjes, maar moeten niet het eigenlijke onderwerp worden.
Does the song Nations and What You Were both tangentially or just elliptically related to 9/11. I'm not Bruce Springsteen. I'm not trying to give any messages about it. But whatever's kind of, I'm just kind of a passive receptacle, and whatever I'm interested in, things that happen, I write about. I just wrote a song about, not about, but after watching this Michael Jackson special. So I wrote a song called Michael's White Hands. And I'm going to play it tonight, you'll see. It's not, it uses him as a reference, but it's not just about him. It's just interesting. The media always interests me, the kind of media icons or media saints.
Media saints?
Saints, yeah. I mean, he has a sort of figure of a saint or a prophet, you know. And he actually helped me out because he was talking on the documentary. He says, they asked how he writes a song, and he goes, "Oh, I just open up and let God speak through me." And you know, the worst thing you can do is try to force it. You know, you just let God speak through you. And actually, when I wrote that song about him, that's what I did, and it happened. It was very easy. That's something you have to remember when you're writing, especially if you already have an audience, because you can always be second guessing yourself, like what the audience is going to think, and you have to get away from that because it's terrible. You don't want to write songs for your audience. You want to write them because they're good. Just period. So I use that technique. So I thank him.
Michael Jackson. Als verlossende antwoord dus op het writersblok van die andere Michael, Gira. Waar de woorden van een liedje vandaan komen, is Gira tot op de dag van vandaag een raadsel. Zeker is dat ze steeds moeilijker tevoorschijn komen met het verstrijken van de jaren. Te veel is al eerder verwoord, heeft eerder al een plek gekregen. Zeker is voor Gira ook dat de woorden simpelweg klaar liggen. Liggen te wachten. Wachten op het moment dat hij de toegang vindt.
I guess it's just a mental trick to open up whatever the place is that words come from, or music. But I find it harder and harder to write as the more I've written, because I constantly block myself and say, oh, I've already done that, I've already done that, I've already done that. So it's difficult, but I just, when I write a song, for instance, I'll have an acoustic guitar riff, or whatever you want to call it, and just wait for words. Sing nonsense phrases, and then just wait until something comes. And it's usually just, I don't know where it comes from. I have no control over it, really. But once I get a few images, then they start to accrue,
We came up from the sea, then we lay in the sand, but continued to breathe, watching Michael's white hands. Now the wind brings a thirst, and some seeds from the past, and they come in a swarm to deliver their heart to the people that hide in their rooms with no walls, in a country nowhere, where their children eat gold, where our dreams are laid bare, where no future is past, where we wander this land, watching Michael's white hands. May his body like Christ come to me in this bed, hear the animals cry. Michael's face is gone dead, but he never was born, so he never could die. Feed his thirst without drugs, Michael's hands will touch us. My The windows are broken and the dust lies on the floor, and your footsteps make a circle, then disappear where you turned and stood at the door. You're right to rise up, you're right to go on, and I wish I could follow. I'm calling you now. Reach down, reach down, reach down. Reach through the powder, reach through the air, reach down to touch us. Our hands are burned bare. Reach down from heaven, reach in to our lungs. Reach down with fire, reach with rage, reach for the open endless blue space, reach for the people who look up from beneath, reach, God save us, save us from what will come. What will come, what will come.
Michael Gira speelde de sessieopname What Will Come. En dat is een song die in de bandversie, dus opgenomen met band, ook is te vinden op de meest recente cd van The Angels of Light. En die cd heeft een dubbele titel. Everything is Good, Please Come Home. Twee songs op die cd hebben een literaire connectie. Het voyeuristische liedje Kosinski is vernoemd naar Jerzy, de schrijver. En All Souls Rising, een ander lied, is ook de titel van een boek over de slavenopstanden in Azië. Dat boek is geschreven door Madison Smart Bell en beschrijft levendig het soort bloeddorst en wraakzucht en lust waar Michael Gira altijd al een zwak voor had. Toch zijn er meer dingen waarop hij als singer-songwriter met zijn liedjes reageert, zoals hij dat ziet.
Well, I respond to a lot of things and write about them. On this song, for instance, on this record, there's, can I see? Yeah. There's some songs about people I've known. There's a couple songs based on books I've read. And there are a couple songs that were generated from what happened in 9/11. More like in what the kind of media hysteria or media shared common dream that was going on around the time. I pull things out from the media and start using them as images to write about or write from. Just like I do with a book. Like this book, the song All Souls Rising, I read this book by the same title by an author named Madison Smart Bell. And it's historical novel about the Haitian slave revolts, and in the late 18th century, late 1700s. And it was to me just an amazing epic story, full of blood and violence and revenge and lust and greed and all the good things in human life, and voodoo as well, because the slaves were practiced voodoo. And there was a lot of voodoo ritual and revenge in the book, and just amazing scenes, just beautifully written novel. And so that a week later or so, I just started writing down images. It wasn't like I set out to write about the book, but they just came from reading the book, and that became that song. And the song Kaczynski here is obviously Jerzy Kaczynski, the writer. I've read him throughout the years occasionally, and love his writing, some of it. And read this amazing biography of him, and sort of wrote from an affinity with his point of view, which was he had this tendency to live his life in the third person, like kind of separated from himself as an outside observer always, which is something I share, I suppose. And so I just kind of fantasized about Jerzy Kaczynski or myself looking through a window at a young girl combing her hair in front of a mirror. And it became a sort of love song.
Het eigen leven leiden in de derde persoon enkelvoud als door de ogen van een ander. Die blik van Jerzy Kosinski herkende Michael Gira bij zichzelf. Ook hij ervaarde jarenlang zijn eigen bestaan op afstand. Hij stond erbij en keek ernaar, naar toch zijn eigen leven. Tegenwoordig is het allemaal wat levensechter geworden, maar zo groots georchestreerd ook als het leven van Jerzy Kosinski lijkt dat van Gira nooit te zijn geweest.
Oh, I think, he was very much a director of his life, in the sense of scoring it. But the thing I meant is that he was unable or unwilling to experience something in the immediate present tense without, at the same time, having another side of him stepping back and observing it and cataloging it, probably for future use in writing, which is something I seem to do. Less now as I grow older, actually, but as in my early years, when I started writing and making music and things, I was almost incapable of experiencing things directly. I was just very removed.
Singer-songwriters die verhalen over hun eigen leed. Daarvan zijn er niet weinig en ze zijn Michael Gira stuk voor stuk een gruwel. Eerder al betitelde hij dat als lakse liedjes, als songs met dagboekgetuigenissen die nooit het daglicht hadden moeten zien, die privé hadden moeten blijven. Michael Gira leeft ook met een verbod zichzelf in zijn liedjes te bezingen, hoe groot natuurlijk ook het aandeel eigen ervaring mag zijn waarmee een liedje begint. Om dezelfde redenen is het hem ook een gruwel te denken aan een biografie.
I think it's a little self-indulgent. It's like I haven't lived enough yet to do it or something. Also, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's a little makes me a little queasy. I struggle in my own writing to get myself out of it because I don't want it to be about me, Michael Gira. I think that's self-indulgent. It's not like Eminem singing about his mother, Mm-hmm. So it's just like, who cares? It's like, you got your problems, work them out. It's like, I think songs need to be much more than that, or stories. So I work pretty hard at getting I use personal experiences and memories and things, but I really try to make it so it's not just about me.
She waited right here for 25 years with nothing to win. She wasted her tears. She nailed shut the door, spilled herself on the floor. She waited too long, then she waited some more. Counting the hours, how much can you hate? And what does she feel when she finally breaks? And what was his name? Oh God, he fucked like a prince. He bought her some gifts and more pills to take. A Japanese song love that's stained and an endless ache that could never be, could never be, could never be, could never be. There are people like us, and we walk through this place, and we look just like you, but it's you that we hate. With your struggles and joys, and your freedom to choose, your freedom to choose, your freedom to choose. Counting the time, filling the glass, counting our breaths, which one will come last? And what is this face I don't recognize? Who's watching my eyes that wilt as I cry? And what have I done? I don't care anymore. What have I become? Who cares anymore? Just give me some more. 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 Give me some more.
Michael Gira, solo te gast met gitaar, speelde The Family God. En dat is een liedje dat ook is te vinden op de meest recente cd van zijn band, The Angels of Light. Eminem, de rapper, zingt over zijn moeder en dat is Gira, zoals daarnet verteld, een gruwel. Het sluit niet uit dat ook een liedje van zijn eigen hand kan beginnen met het verhaal van zijn eigen moeder.
Oh, well, that was based on a, well, it's, the source is a little personal, but my father left my mother when I was about 8 or something. She had 3 sons, and she immediately descended into alcoholism and drank up all the family money and just sat in her room drinking every day, cursing his name, making international phone calls, trying to trace him down because he was in Germany, and just obsessed with her hatred for him. And she fed her for 20 years. She fed on her hatred and memories of him, and that was to me kind of a profound story of a person that had given up everything in their life and lost themselves in a kind of personal sickness, you know. So I thought it was a good story to tell.
Here she comes, dressed in white. Her mouth is filled with flames. skin is black, her fingers trace the diamonds in her veins. Here she comes down from the sun to watch this country clean. Comes down for us and from the dust to murder what remains. Here she comes, dressed in red, to heal this ruined race. I know somewhere where there's a God, he's lying at her feet. Will breathe here again, and